We're back with another 2021 rookie profile. Is Tylan Wallace a heat seeker? Watch and find out. Brad from RotoHeat and RookieDraftGuide.com. Welcome back to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, do it. If you are, thank you. Let's drop a like on this video. Let's get it up to 200. And don't forget to check out RookieDraftGuide.com. The big question, is Tylan Wallace a top 10 rookie wide receiver in this draft class? Let us know in the comments below. Wallace, 6 foot, 180-ish pound wide receiver out of South Hills High School in Fort Worth, Texas, was interesting coming out of high school. You know, when you look at places like 247 Rivals, some of them, they had him, you know, down around the hundreds, 120 range nationally. When it came to the wide receiver range, he was in the teens, you know, late teens, early 20s, ratings-wise. He definitely had some interest, and he was definitely on the higher end of the spectrum as opposed to some of the guys that we've talked about recently on the channel. Spoiler, if you haven't seen it, make sure you go watch him. He obviously went to Oklahoma State, chose Oklahoma State over Arizona State, FIU, Houston, Kansas. You know, or Kansas State, apologies. So there was plenty of interest coming into college. And when he got to Oklahoma State, you know, he had 3 very productive years. You know, he had a breakout sophomore campaign, 86 receptions, 1,491 yards, 12 touchdowns. It was massive. He had a big one. He was a sophomore, so he had to come back some more. But as a junior, did well. Only played 9 games, though. 53 receptions, 903 yards, 8 touchdowns. 2020, same very similar profile. 59 receptions, 922 yards, 6 touchdowns. Wasn't spectacular by any stretch of the imagination, but you can see, you know, when you look at, and even if you're looking at the basics, you know, look at his average. It's big. He's a big play threat, and that's a big deal. You know, he's obviously, you know, he's averaging almost 17 yards per reception for his career at Oklahoma State. I mean, that's big. You know, that tells us that he, you know, going to the next level could be a starting, you know, Z receiver on a team and really be a big play type guy. You know, when I looked at comparisons, you know, when you're at the collegiate level looking at comparisons, you know, I saw a few folks comp him to like a Tyler Boyd type player, which should be very intriguing. You know, Tyler Boyd's kind of knocked out a nice career for himself in the NFL and even in fantasy. Because of how things have gone for Wallace in his career thus far, he could be a bit under the radar going into the draft process. You know, 40 times, combine results, pro day stuff, that could really change things, obviously, over the next few months. But so far, what we see in high school and college is a guy who, you know, wasn't highly sought after, but did a lot with the opportunities he was given. You know, Oklahoma State hasn't produced a bevy of high-end talented fantasy receivers in their careers. You know, so Wallace could break the mold and be something special at the next level. So the question at hand, you've come up on the clock in your rookie drafts, and Tylan Wallace is staring you directly in the face. What do you do? Well, the RotoHeat team is kind of lukewarm on him. You know, in this draft class, we've got some elite level wide receivers. But I asked you in the comments below, is he a top 10 rookie wide receiver? That's kind of where the team has him, somewhere within that back end of the 10 range. But to find out exactly where things shake out, make sure you're subscribed and you're a patron over at RookieDraftGuide.com, because we give you everything. We give you the film, the ratings, the evaluations, everything, bios, links, everything short of a high five, which I just gave you. So now you've got it all. Tylan Wallace is a guy that, you know, in the Oklahoma State offense, I mean, it's very, very air raid-esque, so his responsibilities as a receiver are limited. But he did a lot in that offense. He's very prolific in that offense. So much so that, that I think NFL teams are going to give him a chance. And maybe he's one of those guys that you see drafted, kind of late day 2, early day 3 as a developmental type guy, but has the chops and the abilities to really develop into something strong. And at the wide receiver position, even if it takes him a couple years to develop and he's a guy you stash on your taxi squad, that could be a big win for you. Think about as the type of player he is, the character he is. A high character guy, works hard, was a 3-sport athlete in high school, track and field, all those things that you hear about some of the bigger pros being, multiple sport athletes. Tylan Wallace was that. He was involved very heavily in an up-tempo, kind of high-octane offense. So, the route tree is limited, so he's going to need to develop that. But he's very consistent hands catcher. He has the ability to attack the deeper regions of the field with ease and make it look easy. He's got, kind of that big playability, which obviously we saw with the, almost 17 yards per catch in his college career. And that's quite a few hundred catches. That's something to be spoken of and spoken highly of, when you're looking late second in your rookie drafts or something of that like. Obviously rookiedraftguide.com will have where we anticipate him going based on mocks and things like that. But that was personal opinion. He's probably somewhere in the late second round, mid to late second round of rookie drafts, depending on the type of league you're running. And, he is a perfect opportunity to draft and stash in my mind, because I always want to have some young offensive players on my taxi squad that hopefully are developing that can become something. And he's a very strong candidate for something like that. He's good vision. He's got good vision, seeing and attacking zones, things like that. He just has some room to grow. And in the Tyler Boyd comp is a very good comp for him. The ability, the catching ability. I mean, all of it packaged up together bodes well for Wallace as he goes to the next level. Now, obviously, the league is full of receivers right now, but think about, we've got a lot of aging receivers. So in the next few years, you might see some of these high-end guys go, and could Wallace develop into that? Could he develop into a wide receiver 2 with upside kind of play? The team isn't not out on him. He's very much a guy that we think has potential to develop. It's just we haven't seen. There's areas of his game that we need to see develop more. We need to see more developed route tree and being involved in some of those other areas that he didn't have to at college. It's no knock on him. It's just the college he went to and the offense they run. I mean, it's just the way it is. So no knock against the player. The player, I mean, he's extremely talented. I love his character. He's a family man. Him and his brother are very close, and he supported his brother when his brother got multiple ACL injuries. I mean, there's all the things that you package it together, and this looks like a kid that you want on your fantasy roster, at least in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's a stash on the taxi, if your rosters are deep enough, maybe he's just your back end of your roster type guy, to see what happens. To see where he goes, to see how he develops in his career. I mean, the sky's the limit for this young man. So, again, back to the question at hand, is he one of your top 10 fantasy rookie wide receivers? Let us know in the comments. If you watch these videos, that we jump in those comments. The RotoHeat team, myself personally, we are in there talking with you, helping you through what to do with your rookies, what to do with trades, what to do with the players that we're talking about in our videos. We appreciate the interaction with the community. We're here for you guys. That's why we do this. We do this to support the community and help you guys be better, successful, bigger, stronger, faster fantasy owners. So don't forget Discord, Facebook, Twitter, RotoHeat.com, RookieDraftGuide.com. We're here to help. We will talk to you guys again soon. Take care of each other.